Hi Cristin Creates friends. Are you ready to finish your baby? Well, you might be wondering why I'm holding this giant box of polyfill. Trust me, you don't need this much. I've had this box since I started making the Planet Applique dolls several years ago. It's definitely over 5. I can't remember how long I've had this box, but you don't need this much. You do need a bag of polyfill. The other supplies that we need are a craft knife, the 3 parts to the doll joint, 2 pieces of fur cut at 6 inches wide. We'll go over that shortly. And last but not least, your baby. Let's get started. So we're at our cutting mat with the fur wrong side up, and you have your craft knife. You want to cut it through the fibers of the fabric, the backing, not the actual fur. And I'm just taking a light score, and you can stretch it a little bit and see where your cuts have missed and go back over it. Again, you just want to, I don't know if you can see through my fingers, but you just want to lightly score the top side of it, just so that you're getting the weave of the fabric and not the actual fur. And then once all of those fibers have been separated, you can pull it apart. You see how the fur remains intact. And we want 2 pieces at 6 inches. You could leave this one as is if you wish, but to keep it out of the way of the hoop, I'm going to shorten it. Again, just pull it apart and the fur stays whole. All right, let's take it to the machine. Use scissors and cut along the placement stitch hairline along the front of the face, and don't cut the fabric at that point. Next, we want to follow that line using our craft knife, and just want a light cut. You definitely don't want to go through to the back side, and you can feel it as you're cutting along when it gets through the weave of the fabric. And just like before, I mentioned before, you can kind of tug on it to see where you've missed spots, and just keep going over it, but do it ever so gently. You only want the top side, you don't want the fur. See how that's separated? Same thing. Now the back, I'm gonna leave it long. I mean, it doesn't need to be this long, but I'm gonna leave it long so that I can decide how long I want the baby's hair to be on the back after the baby is stuffed. You want a sneak peek? So now you can kind of see how long that wig is. But again, I'm gonna leave it until he's stuffed. Okay, the next step is to cut the reinforcement circles. And if you have chosen to do a 2-sided face, you'll want to snip some of the threads right here and the same thing right here. You'll snip right in there, and remember to use moleskin to reinforce that seam allowance. Moleskin, as a reminder, you can find it in the foot care section of your grocery store. So be careful to not cut your finger, but you also don't want to cut through to the front side of your face. So I'm just going to fold that section in half, clearing the face away from the hole, and just make a couple of tiny snips. And then the same on this one. You can poke your fingers through the opening in the back, and that is just the front layer, making a tiny snip. And it's a tight fit, which is good. You just have to keep poking until it goes all the way through. We're going to do the same thing with the torso, using the doll joint. The doll joint is actually going to go through the head, but we're going to use the doll joint to help create the opening, and just keep cutting and applying pressure using the doll joint to stretch the hole open. You had fun making your Swaddle Sweetie doll, and I can't wait to see pictures of your baby. And my shirt today is from last year's group sew along. You can find the video to that in the Cristin Creates channel. Can't wait to see your pictures.